Bushe mwalikwata Top Star Decoder. Bushe mwalishiwa kutila kutimwa tamba Prime TV2 Zambia pa channel 110 nga chakutila mlefu okumfwa amadiashi ayalekanalekana okufuma kunchende ishapusana. Bakanyekanye mukumipekanisisha amadiashi konse kuntumletu mfuila maliba abaiteanya inshitayonse kumulabasa wenu wa Prime TV2. Prime TV2 omulabasa wenu kumadiashi nembila nsuma mumishi yenu.
Early in the morning, fire on the stove, love in a pie, that's the life we know. From the fields to the table, every bite it shows. Primarily me, the taste of home. Primarily me, the taste of home. Primarily me, the taste of home. Mama in the kitchen, we never eat alone. Primarily me, the taste of home.
Primarily Meal, pure, proudly Zambian, the taste of home.
The Electoral Commission of Zambia wishes to inform all stakeholders and the general public that the physical inspection of the Provisional Register of Voters will be conducted from Monday the 2nd to Sunday the 8th of March 2026 at all polling stations across the country. During this period, all registered voters are required to inspect and verify their personal details on the Register of Voters, including names, NRC numbers, and polling station information. Please note, there will be no new registration of voters during the inspection period. The inspection of the Register of Voters will also be conducted electronically throughout the inspection period via the ECZ website or the ECZ USSD code *214# on any mobile phone. You can also download the ECZ mobile app from Google Play Store. Voters who need to correct or update their details will be referred to the nearest physical registration center with the registration kit. It is your right. It is your vote. Your vote counts. This message is brought to you by the Electoral Commission of Zambia.
This is Prime TV2, the home of breaking news, live on Top Star Channel 110 and also streaming live on our Facebook page, which is PTV2 Zambia. Now let's take a look at some of the stories making headlines. PTV2 Zambia loses KASAMA-based reporter MATHIAS CHEWE after an illness. The wife of SOLWEZI-BASED clergy Elder NSHIMBAMI, who died in a road traffic accident last week, has also died after succumbing to injuries. A 63-year-old woman living with a disability in MONZE district of Southern Province has been abandoned after her children allegedly suspected her of witchcraft. Police rescue 15-year-old KABWE girl forced to sleep in toilets over 100 kwacha theft allegation. With the details, my name is Oswald Kafwanka. Now on a sad note, PTV2 Zambia Northern Province reporter MATHIAS CHEWE has died after a prolonged battle with a brain tumor. CHEWE previously underwent surgery for the condition, after which he experienced medical complications. He was stationed at the KASAMA Bureau until the untimely death in the early hours of today, 3rd March 2026 at around 01 hours. In a statement, PTV2 Zambia says CHEWE's professionalism, bravery, and unwavering commitment to justice left a lasting impact on the newsroom and the communities he faithfully served. As part of the remembrance, PTV2 now reflects on one of the impactful stories he covered, in which motorbike riders in Mpika district raised concern over rising attacks during hire trips to Kanyele gold mine highlighting his dedication to amplifying community voices. Have a look.
The discovery of gold in Kanyelele area of Chikwanda and Mkwikire chiefdoms in Mpika district has sparked a surge of activity, attracting both local and international fortune seekers. This newfound rush has created economic opportunities, particularly for motorbike riders transporting people to and from the mining sites. However, the growing influx of illegal miners has also brought rising concerns over safety. Motorbike riders who are now in high demand have become prime targets for attacks.
We are facing a lot of challenges as motorcycle riders. The first challenge is we are being killed with impunity. The customer will come like they want to take them somewhere, but on the way they will kill you, they get the motorcycle, they run away, and very few people have been arrested. And those that have been arrested, we have no clue, we don't know if they have been sentenced to anything, we don't know anyway. So we are asking the relevant authorities to look into that, find a solution, see how they can protect us.
Mishek Simuyemba and Lawrence Mutale, both local motorbike riders, have voiced their fears, citing frequent attacks when hired to ferry passengers to the gold mining zones. Mishek further adds his concerns, highlighting the lack of adequate security measures to protect both riders and miners operating in the area.
Sometimes
Matthias, CHEWE, Prime TV News, Mpika.
The wife of SOLWEZI-BASED clergy.
Well, may the soul of Matthias CHEWE rest in peace and sincere condolences to the family. Now, moving on to the news, the wife of SOLWEZI-BASED clergy, Elder NSHIMBAMI, who died in a road traffic accident last week, has also passed away after succumbing to injuries sustained in the same crash on the Copper Belt. Elder NSHIMBAMI died on the spot in the accident alongside another man. They were escorting to Lusaka for a marriage engagement. His wife, Maureen Kiabunyolo, who had been receiving medical treatment following the accident, died on the 28th of February 2026. Now speaking to PTV2 News, upon the arrival of the body at Solwezi Mortuary, Reverend Perez Mashikini, a cousin to the late Mrs. NSHIMBAMI, confirmed the development. Jackson Mwansa has the details on this one.
Elder NSHIMBAMI has died in a hospital following a fatal road traffic accident on the Copper Belt. Elder NSHIMBAMI died on the spot in the crash, together with a man they were escorting to Lusaka for a marriage engagement. His wife, Maureen Kiabunyolo, who has been receiving treatment, later succumbed to her injuries on 28 February 2026. Reverend Perez Mashikini confirmed that burial will take place on 5th March 2026 in Solwezi district.
I want to confirm that we brought the body to Solwezi, and the burial is going to take place on Thursday, 5th of March. Yeah, that's when we are going to have the burial. The funeral gathering is here in the community, Solwezi community compound.
The church has described the loss as devastating. 4 people were on board at the time of the accident. 2 died instantly, while the other 2 were taken to the hospital. Jackson Mwansa reporting for Prime Television News in Solwezi district of Northwestern Province.
Moving on in the news, a 63-year-old woman living with a disability in MONZE district of Southern Province has been abandoned by her children after being allegedly suspected of witchcraft. Ms. Mwetwa says she was forced to leave her home after being severely beaten by her last-born son and has since been seeking shelter under a grass-thatched structure. She told PTV2 News that life has been extremely difficult since her children abandoned her. Now, in response, a UPND mobilization team in the district has stepped in to construct a proper house for her. John KABWE has the details.
In a world where the vulnerable are often neglected and forgotten, one woman's story has garnered attention and sparked an act of kindness and compassion. This is the story of Lady Mwetwa, a 63-year-old disabled woman, abandoned by her own children and living in unsafe conditions. Lady Mwetwa's story recently caught the attention of the public when a team of United Party for National Development members discovered her during a party mobilization in MONZE district of Southern Province. They found her living in a dilapidated glass-thatched house, which posed serious health risks.
Mugati munganda ya muhobo onanda likulomba lukwa kuti oyu muntu asuke mundijeji bwisundisa ingaula pona bumi bubotu.
Elvis Mainza, a MONZE-based UPND member who is also based in Lusaka, was deeply moved by Lady Mwetwa's living conditions. He and his team immediately stepped in and ordered that a new decent house be built for her.
And it's so touching to find that in this time and age, we can have our mothers who are our parents living in such kind of an environment. So my pledge to both these beautiful wives of mine is to promise that I'm pledging that I'll build this house in a normal standard that I can afford. We are going to build it from the foundation up to the roof. And also, the other house for my sweetheart here, who will do the roofing. I promise to do your roofing. Tino skeging nganda. So ndamu promise kwamba tiguya kulindinywe tuwala kujita jiruri.
Mr. Mainza family believed that no one, especially an elderly disabled woman, should be living in such unsafe conditions. Upon hearing the news of a new house being built for her, Lady Mwetwa expressed her gratitude for the intervention. She shared that her life has been full of challenges since all her children had abandoned her after she was suspected of witchcraft. Lady Mwetwa explained that she was forced to leave her previous home after being severely beaten by her youngest son and had to seek shelter in the glass-thatched house. John KABWE, Prime TV News in MONZE District, Southern Province.
You're still watching the PTV2 News, and we're coming to you live on Topstar Channel 110 and also streaming on our Facebook page, PTV2 Zambia. We now take a break, but still to come, police in KABWE district have rescued a 15-year-old girl who was allegedly forced to spend nights in a toilet after her mother accused her of stealing 100 kwacha. Stay tuned.
Hi, Sisi, can I borrow your phone?
Borrow? Can't you see I'm using it? I'm verifying my voter registration details.
Verifying? How?
Through the USSD code. You simply dial *214# to verify your details on the register of voters before voting day.
What about me on a wheelchair? Do I still have a chance?
Yes, uncle. You still have a chance. You must confirm that your details are correct.
To all Zambians who registered to vote in the 2026 general election, verify your details at any polling station. Take a moment to verify and confirm your details in the Register of Voters. The online inspection of the Register of Voters is on on from the 22nd of February to the 8th of March 2026. It's easier, quicker, and more convenient. Simply visit the ECZ website or dial *214#. You can also download the ECZ mobile app from Google Play Store. All persons inspecting the register must carry a Green National Registration Card (NRC) for registered voters and the sworn affidavit for the removal of deceased voters. It is your right. It is your vote. Your vote counts. This message is brought to you by the Electoral Commission of Zambia.
Bushe mwalikwata Top Star Decoder. Bushe mwalishiwa kutila kutimwatamba Prime TV2 Zambia pa channel 110 nga chakutila mlefu okumfwa amadiashi ayalekanalekana okufuma kunchende ishapusana. Bakanye mukumipekanisisha amadiashi konse kuntumletu mfuila maliba abaiteanya inshita yonse kumulabasa wenu wa Prime TV2. Prime TV2 omulabasa wenu kumadiashi nembila nsuma mumishi yenu.
Welcome back and thank you for staying tuned to the PTV News. Now, moving on in the news, police in KABWE district have rescued a 15-year-old girl who was allegedly forced to spend nights in a toilet after her mother accused her of stealing 100 kwacha. The victim, a Form 2 learner at a named school, told PTV2 News that she had endured hunger and cold conditions for the past 2 weeks. Our Central Province reporter Joseph Siambihi visited the girl following a tip-off from concerned residents and found her clothes, school uniforms and books placed behind the toilet. We have details in the following report.
She shed tears while explaining to Prime Television News how her mother allegedly kicked her out of the house after a misunderstanding, leaving her with no choice but to spend nights in the toilet. The clothes of the Form 2 learner at Bwacha Secondary School were also found outside.
So for bashiri bashap 700, for bashiri bwacho richero bashiri basangapo 600. Pa epuisha mpia achba perquisa. Na tawa ina sendere po mpia kai ne onova budige mpia po babikana peshiba. Fono mbaina ipusha bajiba ntamu sendere po mpia balela ndatawa ina sendere ko awa ino fona pusha kupanga ndo fona shena ina ku bed na fwa. Pa beds pa ma pepa ya ku plot. Fona shena shena mapepa ya kuplot so na isangine mu paper ja kuplot pa pen so na ipetikanga no petikanga fo bashire babwe na timpia na tuisanga fo bashire bambokulanda nuwo bo sendere mpia pa panga size yo perere po panore njibira at pan panga ndashire kufaya ofu map pandu kuchiranga kulasana knife nangu kakumena sando ngabuke pantu ngana olala munga ndashilala free ofu map pandu panga ndashikufwa kakonke kwa badadwo badadwo batamfi.
Some neighbors who have been observing what has been happening also narrated.
Mwana kashwa kuleba tetare sungo mwana olo in girl child no banga bamuika tama janki bengi this time abantu balapitano kupitano kubama dish bakamusanga mtore tu mwana kashuyu umwana bakamuchitarepu so number fighting to mwana fe ni 05 umwana aisa mkonkonsha iwe ule akuskuru ino nshita awe ni banti ndala pansi opo ndala ninshi bamami bali ntamvya shirala munganda ulala kuisa mu toilet nomba ngololo wisoro chero ule akuskuru ngamba uniforms ufala shani atao fiance fyaba mu kuzinki ko mbika ni fya kuchinja fiance.
The matter has been reported to Bwacha Police Station and the child picked for safety while the mother has been warned, cautioned and cancelled. In the meantime, the child has been taken to a safer home. Joseph Siambihi reporting, Prime TV News in KABWE.
Now in some news from the courts, 2 women from Lusaka have been sentenced to 2 years imprisonment after being found guilty of corrupt practices for attempting to bribe a police officer with 4,808 kwacha. The co-wives allegedly offered the bribe in an effort to secure the release of their husband, who was in lawful police custody for the offense of incest involving a 10-year-old, his 10-year-old daughter. The case was heard at the Lusaka Magistrate Court with a verdict handed down today. Namangolo Mshokabanji now joins us with the details from the Lusaka Magistrates Court.
Thank you so much for joining me. I'm bringing you live pictures from the Lusaka Magistrate Court, where Magistrate Anna Holland has just passed sentence involving 2 Lusaka women, and she has sentenced the said women to 2 years imprisonment for the offense of corrupt practices, which is contrary to Section 19, 20, and 21 of the Anti-Corruption Act number 19 of 2010. So particulars in this matter are that the said 2 women, whilst in the company of another person, the third woman in this matter, who is now deceased, had gone to KABWE police station and attempted to bribe a police officer by offering 4,880 ngwe to the said police officer, who is the dealing officer in this matter. So the said 3 women had actually explained to the police officer that they wanted their husband released so that he can take care of the family, alleging that he was the breadwinner of the family, and so keeping him in police detention was actually having an effect on the family who was at stake, because the said man was in police detention following allegations that he had sexually abused his 10-year-old child. So when the said women were actually questioned, what about the welfare of the child if you want your husband released? Out of the 3 women, one of the women, who is actually the biological mother to the child, told the police that it's better that the child is surrendered to government so that she can be put up for adoption. So as we speak, currently the child is under social welfare and is being kept at a safe home in Lusaka. The said women had actually pleaded with police. They went a step further and put their plea in writing, asking the police to release their husband so that he can go and take care of his extended family at home. So the said 3 women were jointly arrested and actually charged with corrupt practices and kept in police detention. It was during this time that they said the third woman had actually passed away following an illness whilst in police detention. So by the time this matter was being brought before the Lusaka Magistrate Court, it was only just 2 women that had remained after the other one had passed away. So the said 2 women were brought before the Lusaka Magistrate Court, and they pleaded not guilty to the said offense of corrupt practices. And when trial commenced, the state brought forth a witness, who is the arresting officer in this matter, and the arresting officer actually told the court that indeed the said 3 women attempted to bribe her and actually offered her money, which money was brought before the court and acted as an exhibit in this particular matter. So the said police officer testified before the court and told the court that the said women jointly had come to her and actually pleaded with her so that the husband could be released. And when the 3 women were asked why they wanted their husband released, the police officer told the court the reasons that were given at the police station and explained that the said women said the man is the breadwinner. All 3 of them were unemployed and actually dependent on the said man. And in their defense, one of the women explained before the court that the said money was actually meant to facilitate for food for the spouse whilst in detention. The other woman gave an excuse that the said money was actually meant to pay for police bond. So just to mention, police bond is actually free of charge at any police station, provided that the said offense in question is bondable. On that premise, the magistrate did not buy their defense and actually found that the prosecution had proved beyond reasonable doubt that the said 2 women had committed the said offense that was alleged against them. So Magistrate Holland, in her findings, also found that the said women had knowledge on the fact that police bond is free of charge, so their excuse that they wanted to pay for police bond did not hold. Further, the magistrate, just to send a warning to other would-be offenders, stated that she was going to actually sentence the said 2 women to 2 years imprisonment despite their mitigation. So the 2 women in their mitigation told the court that they were first-time offenders and pleaded for lenience. So they wanted the court to give them a suspended sentence so that they can take care of the children who are at home, alleging that the husband is actually still facing trial and is inside police detention. So Magistrate Holland went on and sentenced the said 2 women to 2 years imprisonment despite their mitigation, and this has been done so as to send a message to would-be offenders who would also want to commit a similar offense. Also, the magistrate stated that attempting to bribe a public officer gives a bad image on the courts of law, also on the law enforcement agencies, especially that cases such as these ones are rampant. So she went on and sentenced the said 2 women to 2 years imprisonment starting from the day of arrest, which is today, the 3rd of March 2026. Reporting for Prime Television, Namangolwa Mushokamanji.
You are still watching the PTV2 News, coming to you live on Topstar Channel 110 and also streaming on our Facebook page, which is PTV2 Zambia. Now, let's take a look at our African proverb of the day, which is in Silozi of Western Province. Take a look. Well, a reminder to you, our viewers, you're welcome to send in your proverbs in any local language translated into English with a meaning included. You can send them to ptv2@ptv2zambia.com or ptv2zambia@gmail.com. We continue with the rest of the news. Advocates for the declaration of the Zambia as a Christian nation chairperson Bishop Billy Mfula has urged the government and the family of former President Edgar Lungu to resolve the ongoing impasse and ensure that the late former head of state is put to rest before the August general elections. Bishop Billy Mfula says the delayed burial of the former president has left the nation in a state of emotional and spiritual uncertainty, warning that failure to conclude the matter before the pause could affect the national mood. He says burying the former head of state would allow for the country to move forward and enable citizens to participate in the elections with a clear conscience and renewed unity. Details in the following report.
The prolonged delay in burying former President Edgar Lungu has left the nation emotionally wounded and spiritually unsettled. That's according to advocates for the declaration of Zambia as a Christian nation chairperson, Bishop Billy Mfula. Speaking with concern, Bishop Mfula is urging both government and the Lungu family to urgently find common ground and accord the former president a dignified burial before the August general election.
Because when we do that, people will be voting with heavy hearts. Something is incomplete. And so also God to touch family, so that family and government can come to a place of agreement so that this matter can pass. We are a grown-up nation. We have buried former heads of state before. This is not a new case. We have buried former heads of state before. This should not be an unique case that we are not able to handle. So I think let's go beyond our emotions, become objective, love the country more, fear God more, and let's put our honorable head of state to rest.
National Day of Prayer and Fasting Committee Vice President Solomon Mbulo says the continued delay has weighed heavily on the nation's soul.
So, as Zambians, let us continue, especially I want to appeal also to the clergy, that the clergy, let us continue praying. I believe that the Bible says there's nothing that is too hard with our God. If we can just put our heads together and commit this issue before God, I believe that God will come through. Let us forget about our past differences. You know, we're human, we're about to err here and there, but let us, for this one thing, for the sake of Mother Zambia, for the sake of Mother Zambia, my honest appeal again to the government, especially to the Lungu family,
As the nation waits, church leaders say Zambia's healing, unity and emotional closure may ultimately depend on one final act of honor, laying its former head of state to rest. Favorites, Chise, Prime TV News, Lusaka.
Now, in our final story of the news, residents of Musanya village in Chinsali district of Mchinga province have commended the government for constructing a health facility, installing boreholes, and establishing a pine tree plantation in the area. Acting village headman Collins Kalulu says the developments have transformed the community life. He explains that previously residents had to travel about 50 kilometers to reach Chinsali General Hospital, making it particularly challenging for expectant mothers and the elderly. More in the following report by Richard Simbaya.
The rehabilitation of Chinsali-Nakonde stretch of the Great North Road has entered its final impact assessment stage, making another milestone in government efforts to boost economic growth and enhance regional trade. The project, implemented by the Road Development Agency, has already transformed transport connectivity along the busy corridor link Zambia to neighboring countries. The project affected persons whose buildings were demolished during the road expansion say they are grateful to government for the compensation provided.
Lomba vaisa tutambia mumuse watamu apalama na mumusebo. Watu sena difandi utumangu wetu wesu. Tuwakula muna maanda ya kulu. kwa tuwatotera pali chichena panto manganda watolekala mutunono
lobuteko kwena okupisira muri ba RDA bali twafuire panuma yakututobera bali tupere mpia isho twakuliremu ekikulu na chimbi ekikulu twakula mone nganda twatola mona bana ku masukuru.
Beyond the improved road infrastructure, the project has also delivered additional benefits surrounding communities, including the construction of 2 health facilities, administration of the bores, improve access to clean and health care services.
So nomba pa uteko wali tusakamana. So natuambo kunwamesha asuma.
Lero pali ino nshitaba itwetere chipatale chikulu. Then nababonfi at least nabafulako. Namalwele ayengi. Ayo abantu balepo kama referrals ukuya kumbi for medical attention na yaputukako.
Meanwhile, Anton Mulora, Chief Communication and Corporate Affairs Manager at the Road Development Agency, who is leading the assessment team, said the exercise is aimed at evaluating the project, at informing the communities and shaping future infrastructure interventions.
Which means that during the last 5 years when we were undertaking this project, these people were in employment, thereby supporting these families around. And also important is that we also worked with the National Council for Construction, to train 200 youths, especially women. And among these more were the women. So skills transfer was also part and parcel of this project. So basically here what we are doing is we just want to get those voices to see how lives are being transformed. We are seeing how people have reinvested the monies they got in terms of compensation as project affected persons. They have been able to construct bigger shops. They have been able to even build their businesses in terms of capital.
The validation exercise is expected to continue in another district along the corridor as government seeks to measure the full social and economic impact of upgraded Great North Road. Richard Simba reporting for PTV News, Chinsali, Muchinga Province.
End of the news on the home of breaking news. But before we go, let's recap on some of the stories that made headlines. PTV2 Zambia loses KASAMA-based reporter MATHIAS CHEWE after an illness. The wife of SOLWEZI-based clergy elder NSHIMBAMI, who died in a road traffic accident last week, has also died after succumbing to injuries. A 63-year-old woman living with a disability in MONZE district of Southern Province has been abandoned by her children after being allegedly suspected of witchcraft. Police rescue 15-year-old girl of KABWE forced to sleep in a toilet over 100 kwacha theft allegation. Thank you so much for joining us for the news. For these and other stories, you can visit our Facebook page, which is PTV2 Zambia. On behalf of the entire news and production crew, my name is Oswald Kafwanka, saying bye for now.
Mulenga, are you ready for the group presentation?
I am.
Hey guys!
You even missed the lecture.
Yeah, but the voters card verification dates are out.
So what's going to happen?
I passed through the polling station to check my details.
Me I'll just vote on election day. You get?
Your vote is your right, and verification is key to the voting process.
The inspection of the register of voters is on. The Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, is conducting a nationwide physical inspection of the provisional register of voters for the 2026 general election. If you registered during the mass or continuous registration of voters, this is your chance to check if your name is on the register of voters and that all your details are correct. Confirm your polling station. You can replace lost, defaced or damaged voters' cards, or even transfer to a convenient polling station of your choice. All persons inspecting the register must carry a green national registration card (NRC) and a voter's card for registered voters, and a sworn affidavit for the removal of deceased voters. Don't wait. The exercise runs from the 2nd to the 8th of March 2026 at all polling stations nationwide from 8 to 17 hours. The inspection of the register of voters will also be conducted electronically throughout the inspection period via the ECZ website or the ECZ USSD code *214# on any mobile phone. You can also download the ECZ mobile app from Google Play Store. It's my vote, my right, my choice. This message is brought to you by the Electoral Commission of Zambia.